Back to another episode of Crowdworkcast. Is it Crowdworkcast this week? Something very different. This week, I'm doing a crossover episode with The Trophy Room. Now, The Trophy Room is a podcast that my old mate, the Professor, does with Gibbo, Nathan Gibbons from SEN, a very funny sports podcast, and they've asked me to be part of it now. So, yes, that'll be coming out semi-regularly. So this is the first episode of season 2. It's a lot of fun. So if you enjoy this, go over, give the Trophy Room a follow on, wherever you get your podcasts as well. If you want to follow the Professor, he is Professor J Roch on Instagram and all social media. And if you want to follow Gibbo, he is Nathan Gibbons 8 on Instagram. Both really funny guys, always doing interesting, cool stuff. So give them a follow, and hopefully you'll enjoy this episode. Now, if you enjoy my work, please give me a follow, Andrew Barnett Comedy on all social media. If you're enjoying the podcast, like, subscribe, all that good sort of stuff. But that's probably enough faffing around for now. Let's get into it. This is a crossover episode with the Trophy Room.
Hello, welcome back. Trophy Room Season 2 is here. I know I get constantly DMs saying, where's Trophy Room going to come back? Where's episode 7? Well, guess what? We bypassed straight from episode 7 into Season 2. Welcome back, James Rochford.
Thank you, Gibbo. What a beautiful introduction. Both my first and last name. It was magical, and it's great to be back for Season 2. And you've jagged an absolute winner to become the third member of this team. I didn't think, as he alluded to, that we had it in the budget, but apparently we did.
Yes, we did. Well, I've been hustling in the off season, so I think it's been about 8 months since we've last recorded, and I'm cashed up. I'm cashed up to the gills, and I mean, do you want to introduce this man?
It's Barney.
Or should we let him introduce
Sorry.
himself?
No, you do it.
It's Barney.
It's Barney. It's a guy that I worked with for many years. Plays a bit of cricket. Talks. He's got some really shit cricket yarns when you drive past an oval that he played at. If he played there, he'll tell you how many runs he got off how many balls, or generally speaking, how many overs he bowled and his economy rate.
Yep.
Also, a lot of hockey chat for all of you hockey lovers out there, for all you
Lovers of the stick.
lovers of the stick and the wet field.
Mate, the Rick Charlesworth Award goes to Barney. Yeah, welcome, boys. Thank you for having me. This is that was what an intro too.
Thank
Just
you.
quietly, thanks, boys. This is, look, budget was finally there. Jeez, it was a long negotiation.
Yeah, it was tough.
We went back and forth. I don't know if you've tried to negotiate with Gibbo.
He's relentless.
He is, and because see, like it was handled mostly by my management because I'm not good at it.
Of course.
And they're like, "Oh, he's gone silent," and I'm saying, "There's every chance he's just got high and forgotten." And they're like, no, he's this guy's a real pro. He's trying to ice us out.
Yeah.
Now, Barney, have you heard about the Trophy Room podcast before? Have you listened?
Mate, I have.
Yep.
I've had a little bit of a listen.
How do you say that with a straight face and you look at him in the eye?
Well, the half of episode 6 that I listened to yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant.
What
Yeah, it was a good app.
What were we talking about?
The Matildas. You had Matildas fever at the time.
Oh, did
We did. Yeah, must have been World Cup fever.
Yeah.
So that's when our last record was. Well,
Right.
welcome into the Trophy Room podcast, and welcome back to, there's thousands, mostly bots, but there are thousands out there who listen to this podcast.
Fair dinkum.
I think so. And
Right.
welcome back to you. And if you are a new listener, so Barney's going to be bringing in some of his crowd.
The Barneyaks.
The Barneyaks. Welcome to all you Barneyaks.
Yeah. And then the profters.
The Profters. I don't know. I don't know what mine are called. They're probably not real.
I don't know. Yours with the prof states.
No, we've changed. We
Yeah.
we rebranded in the off season.
You told me there was the community was getting bigger. You said there were the prof states were swelling. And
Yeah, there was a couple of proctologists that already had the name the prof states.
Oh.
And so we had to, you know what it is. We're
Yeah.
trying to, what could you be? The Gibbotrinators, the Gibbonators, the Gibbons, the
Nate Raiders.
you know what I'd like to?
The Nate
I'd like-
Raiders.
I'd like to be able to point them out and just go, "That's a Gibbon." right there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Triple G's. I'm not
Triple
sure.
G's.
Maybe by the end of the podcast, we can come up with a name for my legion of fans out there. Statsy. I know there's Statsy. Lundy. Lundy'd be out there.
The reptile.
Reptile.
I mean, what have you guys been doing for the last 6 months? I don't think, Barney, I saw you in the off season
Yeah.
down at the Harbord Hilton where you were doing some comedy.
Yeah, did a bit of stand up down the Harbord Hilton. You and your flatmate came down.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, speaking of flatmate, guys, for years I've heard that I live in a frat house. Welcome to Casa de Gibbons.
Yeah, this is nice.
I've tied it up a lot. Roger's done the lawns, which look immaculate. Shout out to Roger.
Yeah, and look, for the price you're paying Roger, I mean it's a large acreage that he's covering. There's tiers, a couple of retaining walls.
Yep.
There's
And levels, few different types of grass as well.
Yeah.
And some
Yes.
difficult bald patches, which,
Yep.
as I know, they're not easy to carve around.
No.
Yeah, he does a tremendous job.
Yeah. Roger's great, actually.
So you stand up mainly?
Yeah, stand up mainly. Just been getting out there doing a fair bit of stand up. Not really much else. Doing the odd corporate. I've got a cracking corporate coming up. I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about this, but you know what? I'm going to let the
Is it ASIO?
the Prof States and the Gibbonators and the Barniacs in on one. There's been a lot of talk of who is going to host the Perfect Plate Awards for Clubs New South Wales this year. Well,
Did you last year?
stage. No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what?
What do you have? What have you done to win a perfect plate?
You have voted in your club. So it's Clubs New South Wales. Your members have voted the dish that you've nominated.
Is it all clubs like Gibbo's Swingers Club? Is that?
Are you a registered swingers club or are you?
Swingers Club? Oh, no, not registered for that.
Okay.
But
Because you don't have because that'd be hard. Like you're local, you need a guest to sign you. You need a member to sign you in if you're in an area.
You're in the area, but
did Club New South Wales not go through some massive data breach?
we spoke about this.
Did we?
On SEN? I'm sure about it.
Oh, this was only a couple of weeks ago.
Second
we haven't
one.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sure. Just make
Well,
sure your
I haven't done the gig yet, so let's not rip into the client.
By the sounds of things, you might be the breach if
Right.
you're giving up information you weren't meant to.
Yeah, I know.
Was it not announced?
This is a continuing problem.
You do love your sport, Barney. I guess that's why we always gravitate towards each other at parties. So parties that we all go to together, just to sit in the corner and say, "Oh, did you see that touchdown?
Yeah.
Have you been watching sport?"
Mate, I've been watching a bit. I've been the last week. I've been laid up with the flu, and so I'll be honest. I wasn't paying as much attention to sport. Although on Sunday, I got up. I felt like garbage, and I got the notification on my phone that the Australians were about to start playing against Scotland in the T20 World Cup, and I went, you know what? I can parlay this into it. Basically, I went from the cricket into an afternoon of rugby league into the GWS game at the end, and I didn't move.
Well, as we record this, Barney, as we go live, we are currently chasing down the Australians. We're chasing down Bangladesh. They got 8 for 140, and we are none for 36. 105 runs off 96 balls, and T-Head's just getting going.
Oh, I do like when T-Head gets going.
Warner, 18 off 11. So have we explained how the podcast works, the trophy room?
No, we've just babbled off the top here.
Have we?
Just a bit of, just a bit of foreplay before we get into the real commotion, which is basically the trophy room. We give out awards that's happened in the last week of sport. They could be fictional. We usually like to make them real. Anything that you've sort of seen. Now, Barney, you have been looking at some awards and you do have some awards to give out. Would you like to kick us off on season 2, episode 1 of the Trophy Room?
Mate, I'd love to kick us off. Obviously, as we record this, we're all we're suffering from Origin fever. It is the temperature's high here, and I'd love to give the Architectural Metaphor Award to none other than Michael Madge Maguire, who this week gave a cryptic warning about what type of house to live in. He said, "Don't live in glass houses." So he's at a press conference. He'd been asked about the Queensland criticism of Joseph Suaalii and his hit that obviously ended his game 7 and probably Origin career 7 minutes into.
But what a career that was!
And you know what, Nate Miles, I hope he enjoyed it too. So
Madge, basically, he started talking about he wouldn't want to live in a glass house. Right. Now, my first instinct was they're in camp in the Blue Mountains. Obviously, Madge's motel room's got too many windows.
And he's trying to keep the heating
He's
going.
going, God, it's cold. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to live in a glass house,
No, fair
guys.
enough.
You know how he talks top of mind.
Yeah.
But apparently that is an allusion to the dirty career of Billy Slater.
What?
Yeah. He did the perfect thing where he threw something out there, and we love rugby league reporters. They don't miss a metaphor when you throw it at them. Like, I know Bulldog Richie did quite a bit of research on energy consumption of people with a lot of windows in their house.
You know what they didn't get into, Barney, which I was a bit upset about, because normally such a learned group do, is the origin of that particular saying.
Oh,
So
really?
I did a little bit of reading, a little bit of
yeah.
research. It comes from 1385.
Really?
It's the year it first appeared in text, and it was a Mr. Geoffrey Chaucer who wrote it in a
Jeffrey.
Geoffrey.
Classic Chaucer.
Well, it's funny because Buzz is a big Chaucer fan. We'll often quote him.
Yeah.
That was from Chaucer.
He will often do that.
Yeah. Mate, we all watch 360.
But yeah, so Madge, big Chaucer fan, loves all his biggest hits.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to know them to you, blokes.
Big fans ourselves.
Yeah. And that's where for the first time. Don't live in a glass house otherwise, because if you throw stones, then the windows break and shit.
Yeah. The thing I disagree with Chaucer on it is it implies that if you don't live in a glass house, throwing stones is fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
Because, I don't know, like, you've got kids.
Yeah.
Your house isn't entirely made of glass.
No,
There is some glass.
There's a portion. Yeah.
But like I've got a couple of you've been to my place.
I have.
I've got a couple of rooms that are predominantly brick, very very
Yeah.
little glass.
Yeah.
Even there, I'm not big on throwing stone.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, the-
Well, interesting about nowadays, right?
Yep.
A lot of glass if you are building a new house, which I'm assuming he was saying if Billy is building a new house on this ranch. Most of them are now, it's those ones that they do in the UK, the poly, it's the double ply glass
Yep.
with the gas in, but where you
Yep.
can't, if you throw a stone at it, it doesn't actually break. So
it's
what he was
almost like the
referring
double
to.
glazed where you've got two
double ply, that's
panes,
what I was looking for. Yeah.
vacuum in between.
Yeah.
which is design. One of the benefits of that is less heat transfer.
Do we think it was a smoke screen? I mean, I know though they have some of these houses smoke screens.
Mm.
You know, I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
Latrell came out. I don't know what the order of this. Latrell came out with his whole scapegoat thing.
Yep.
Yep.
And all the media turned the guns on him.
Yeah.
And maybe Madge was like, "Oh, I've just brought this bloke in. Don't want the guns on him. Let me say just a little something." And then they shifted to the whole glass houses.
One thing I liked about, I mean, Origin
Boys,
Camp Watch.
get me some Chaucer. I need to
Need to get Trell out.
need to get Trell out of
What is
trouble.
going to work? What is going to throw off here? But
Mm.
did you see? I think Danny Widler interviewed Spencer Lenu, and they spoke about how Latrell and Spence interacted for the first time
Mm.
after the Ezra Mam situation at the start of the year. And Spencer Lenu goes, "You know what? We had a chat. We're all good, and now we're focusing on our job to get some Queenslanders."
Yeah.
To get some Queenslanders.
Get
And,
them.
I mean, Camp Watch, Origin Camp is so funny because the news cycle goes every day. So something little like a glass house reference,
Yeah.
it just gets blown up and just gets spoken
Yeah,
about.
and then Gordy makes a comment. Then
Well, I like
Bulldog
Gordy now.
Richie.
He's great. Yeah, we've actually met.
He's a nice guy.
He's
He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And doesn't suffer fools either.
No.
Not to say he's surrounded by them.
Do we think Madge is gonna get one up on Billy here? Does he come out looking better?
We got to wait till Wednesday.
Well,
Mm.
Billy,
Can I give you some Melbourne Origin stats, or did you have a Billy?
Can I just
Yeah.
say my favourite thing out of this the whole thing was going back to the amount of articles that had photos of Billy Slater kicking guys in their head. Which is just great. Like, I'm never a fan of that as a behaviour of a fullback, but geez, they make for good photos. Just seeing a guy get some studs to the face from a guy who's like
Yeah,
jumping in
great
the air,
photo,
catching the
Joe.
ball.
That'll be that same guy that wears the knee pads at every NRL game. You know, with the grey hair.
Yeah.
And he just
Is
runs.
he on the field or in the?
He's off.
in
He's
the-
off the field. It's the same. If you go to every
Oh.
NRL game, it is the same guy. I don't know his name. He's been around forever. What I was going to say. So Melbourne stats.
Yep.
Because can I say my award runs off the back of yours, and then I might get my Melbourne stats. So
Yeah.
mine's the Midas touch, right?
Oh,
Everything
yeah,
turns
we
to God.
Yep.
Hammerside Tabuai Fado at the moment,
Awesome.
Yep.
unbelievable. So obviously Reece Walsh goes down. He goes to fullback. Billy comes down, gives him a little pat on the bum, says, "Mate, get out there, do what you can." He scores a hat trick. Is the difference. Amazing player with the pressure on him. On top of that, then Sharks
Yeah.
come back with a 24-0 down or something. They come back to lead 26-24. Then the Hammer from 5 out dodges past 17 players. And then he ran past the bench. He dodged the Sharks bench.
I saw him.
And then then he went around the ref a couple of times.
This feels gratuitous.
And then scored, won them. The game was the difference. So the Hammer. And like, if you are North Queensland right now
Yeah.
and you let the Hammer go,
Mm.
because they had a chance to keep him. The other one was under 17s, Queensland Reds. You let the Hammer go as well.
So the North Queensland let the Hammer go. He's fullback. Previous fullback they let go
Ponga.
For Lockie Coote.
But Drinkwater's pretty good.
Drinkwater's great.
Yeah.
Drinkwater is pretty good,
I
but
like Juice though.
like, are you choosing?
OJ?
Yeah. Apple, black currant, nerdy.
But-
But yeah, Hammer.
Are you choosing Drinkwater over either Hammer or Ponga at this stage?
No.
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 I'm choosing the Hammer over Reece Walsh. I was saying that to you
No.
last year. Yeah.
No.
The
no,
Hammer's-
no. That is ridiculous.
Really?
Reece Walsh is.
No.
I mean, first of all, he only played 7 minutes, and he
There's
looked.
a liability in that 7 minutes.
Yeah, he was.
The way he took that hit was
You,
unbelievable.
like everybody else, get
Yeah.
lost in the smoky eyes.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah, well, you
Give-
get lost in the fins up,
I do. I get
and it's
caught
a
up in
great
it.
try celebration.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, Hammer is unbelievable, and it's makes the Dolphins a much better side. I feel like without the Hammer, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know. The old the Englishman, Herbie, he's come in.
yeah,
Farnworth, he's
great name,
yeah.
great name, great hair.
Yep. Good film. Herbie Goes Bananas.
Mm.
4 stars.
Do we see Wayne just letting a lot of blokes go between now and the end of the season?
What,
Just
head
to,
down to Redfern?
just to blow, like he loves just quietly blowing a place up before he leaves.
Yes, but I hope he uses the Des tactic of the back-ended contracts. I hope he finds all the busted old forwards. It says, yeah, mate, next 3 years, 800K, then 900K. Then
Yeah. Well, I saw a lot of the coaches who follow Wayne tend to end up getting sacked pretty early on. But Christian Wolf, who is taking over the Dolphins next year, he's a Tongan coach, and by all reports, he's a great fella.
They're all great fellas.
Yeah.
Rugby
I remember-
league. Oh, he's a great
I remember the big chat on Anthony Seabold.
Great.
Oh, mate, on
fella.
when they-
Demetrio, great fella.
Remember when they did the swap? Oh yeah, Brisbane. They're Anthony Seabold. He's going to be. He lasted how long?
Did he even make it to the season? Seeps was
No.
walking down my street yesterday.
He does.
Was he?
Well,
In a very
he's
colourful
host of
shirt.
This area. But yeah, so sorry, Melbourne stats.
Melbourne stats. We've played 5 down there.
Yep.
3 in the 90s. A couple more recently. You know these stats? Melbourne, New South Wales.
495, 97.
Yep.
And then I reckon 15, 18,
Yeah.
21.
Yes.
that 5? Oh,
yes,
that was
18. No, 17.
Oh, 18. Sorry, 18.
17. 17 was the last.
Sorry, I thought you were just naming your 3 last dates.
Yeah, sorry.
She was 15, then it was 18.
Oh,
Mate.
Hey,
Hey.
come on. You come into my house and you call me.
Yeah, we've won 4. New
Yep.
South Wales. We're Melbourne specialists.
Yeah.
They've only won 1 and it was a fluke.
Yep.
We're very good on round fields.
Yeah.
You know what? I reckon
Adelaide Oval.
I've
Perth. We smashed them. We're good on round fields.
I think that next year we should have game 1, Melbourne, game 2, Perth,
Mm.
game 3,
Auckland.
no, Townsville.
Townsville.
Let's go back up there. Remember we smashed them up in that
Australia.
code? Yeah.
So,
Smacked them up there.
following on from that, those cracking MCG stats, which I feel like I might have thrown you a little bit there.
No.
Do you know? Oh, sorry. This is a pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Okay, who was the first
Shoot the host.
referee? So there was one in the first game that was played at the MCG State of Origin. Who was the referee?
What
And I
did you
think it
say?
was
96?
It was either
Don't tell
95
me
or
it's
96.
Harrigan.
No, not Harrigan.
Ooh.
He does the Monday morning addresses in the NRL.
Oh,
Oh, Graham Annesley.
Graham Annesley was the
Really?
first referee. Okay, and I've got another one for you. Okay, so there's been 5 first try scorers.
I
There's
was,
been-
I was hoping this was
okay.
more ref.
Well, hang on. But there's 5 games, so
5.
there would be 5 first try scorers.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna try and 1 fullback,
Mm-hmm.
1 winger,
Mm.
2 centers. Who was the 5th? What's the 5th position?
He was a forward.
yeah
Yep.
He was a prop.
at the MCG. Yeah.
Yes, and it was. I saw it the other day. It was
Paul Harrigan.
No,
It was.
I think he might have dabbled in a career in politics. Or no, not dabbled.
Webke.
No.
Oh, not Glenn Lazarus.
Glenn Lazarus.
There you
Didn't
go.
dabble.
So I
Senator Glenn Lazarus.
Tedesco, Jennings, Mark Coyne, Glenn Lazarus, and I cannot remember for the life of me who the other one is. But yeah, there you go. I sort of had been looking at some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
in the event we ever get a gambling sponsor, I'd say tip New South Wales. A couple of us currently have connections to
Yeah, no.
gambling companies. Have you got your first one?
I do have my first award, and I guess it's fitting that we're talking about Melbourne because I want to give my first award for season 2 of the Trophy Room, the "Don't Cry, It's Over, Be Happy It Happened" award. And look, I mean, we all love sport in Melbourne. People in Melbourne love to tell people around the country that they are the capital of sport
Which they
in
are.
this country.
Which they are.
Coffee.
Coffee,
Laneway culture.
laneway culture, dirty nightclubs,
Yeah.
Spray on hair.
spray on hair.
A
Well,
lot of them spray their hair on.
Yeah.
do they?
It's a big culture down there.
Really?
Yeah, even people with full heads of hair will do extra.
Extra spray
They'll
on.
thicken it up.
Okay.
Big culture.
Well, the award goes to the Melbourne Rebels.
Oh.
Now, I mean, it is quite upsetting when people lose their livelihoods. When
In
fans
fairness, what's more rebellious than just fucking off?
not playing.
Yeah.
So they played their final game of Super Rugby, which was the quarterfinal this year.
Mm.
But it's one of those weird competitions where most of the teams make the finals. So there's 12 teams in Super Rugby Tasman Pacific, whatever they're calling it.
Pacifica.
Pacifica, sorry.
Pacifica? I should know that.
Super Rugby Pacifica, there's 12 teams, 8
It's the
go
same as the
through.
beer.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit. Yes.
The Rebels finish 8th. They play first the Hurricanes. They've got the old McIntyre system for the rugby league. They lose, thus ending their Super Rugby careers. Now, the Rebels probably weren't the best team. I think they made the final.
No, they were the 8th best.
Well, not
this
this
year.
year, but in history. So they made the finals the 2 COVID years, where I think
It was only the
5
Aussie.
teams.
Yeah, it was only the Aussie.
So they got
teams.
through. Basically, this year, the start of this year, they went into voluntary administration. Voluntary
Admitted a few things as
Yeah.
well, which was good of them.
Well, they
We've got no
admitted they'd
cash.
done- Yeah.
Thanks for admitting that.
So they owed 22 mil to creditors. After all this news come out, it had been revealed that they lost $54 million in their 14-year history, or about $10,000 each day. They were bleeding money. They did have some good times though, like 2017 when they won one game against the Brumbies.
If you're
What
spending 10 grand a day, you'd want to be having some good time.
Yeah.
have, like some really good players. They had James O'Connor. They had
Sterling
Joe
Morlock
Lee,
was down there their
Sterling
first years.
Morlock, and also, how could I forget Danny Cipriani?
Yeah.
One of the original Party Boys, who was the first English international cap to play club rugby in Australia in Super Rugby, and
times.
he had some great times down there. So, look, it is always upsetting when a team folds, but the Melbourne
You seem
Rebels-
really upset.
Yeah.
I'm so upset. I am so upset. In 2017, it was between them and the Force.
Mm.
So ARU had to cut one team, and they thought, nah, you know what? Keep the Rebels, let the Force go. And the way that the Rebels showed them was by winning one game.
They also pissed off the one billionaire that loves rugby union.
Oh, Twiggy.
Twiggy, and he will not have anything to do with the Wallabies. Now, he'll look after the Force, but they completely fucked him off.
Well, that's why Perth Rugby League needs to come in now. And,
Well,
you know,
the funny thing with the Rebels, right,
Yeah.
is the Storm barely gets a crowd.
barely. Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, they can't fill a stadium.
The Melbourne Storm are in the top 3 attended clubs this year. And Justin
Yeah, but
Roberts-
just
Yeah.
8,000 at like up the other way.
That's not-
8,000.
yeah, sorry.
it's not.
I mean, I don't know.
That's not like just that means you're the tallest dwarf at the circus, mate. Like it's not exactly. Oh, what they
But
get a
what I
good
mean is
attendance for
a
rugby.
lot,
league.
a lot of Melbourne,
Yep.
if they had to pick one of the rugby codes, which they didn't even know there was 2 teams down there, why make them the similar colours?
Yeah,
Because they, as we always
I
joke,
think to trick him.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
So, first of all, you're splitting them like that.
Yep.
They don't know which one to go to. If they're going to go to one, probably the Storm, they're a lot more successful. So you're trying to have these 2 rugby codes, and we've all been to Melbourne plenty. They do not give a flying fuck.
No. All
About the
first
15.
word of the year.
No, I swore before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I said darn.
24 minutes.
No, I
into season
literally I said fuck like 3 minutes ago.
2. We're not getting a betting sponsor now, guys.
Sorry.
Well, click explicit on the upload.
So yeah, look, the Melbourne Rebels. Don't cry, it's over. Just be happy that it happened. And
Yeah.
for all the rugby union fans in Melbourne, they will be, drinking a
Well-
sour latte this afternoon.
You're still more likely to get a Bledisloe than just about any other.
Well, a funny little thing is that they've got the most cash to buy the World Cup final in 2027.
Ugh.
But a part of that is that there was a Super Rugby club. There was a part of their pitch. Oh, we're down here. They love us. That's gone now. So it'll be interesting to see where that ends up. Probably a core, probably the stadium that killed rugby league, maybe.
Yeah, let's kill another sport.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Core Stadium. We went to Origin at a Core Stadium, and
Mate,
it's so bad.
if it's full,
It's
like I remember one of my great rugby union memories is the 2003 World Cup semi-final, Australia New Zealand. Just
Swirling Mortcock, just
yeah,
catching that.
catching that just
In
big
the
long run. I was hugging blokes I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was great.
You always hug blokes you don't know, don't you?
Well, I get to know them and then
Yeah.
hug them usually, but this time it was the other way around. I was like, you know what? Let's
So
hug.
So what
What's your
happened
name?
in this? What happened in this World Cup semi?
Mate, World Cup semi. What happened?
I don't
Is that
know.
the Kiwi asking? Is it?
No, I'm just-
We won, mate. We
Yeah.
won.
So that was your greatest memory.
That was one of my great
Was that the
memories.
4 more years from Gregan, that game?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did it
Good
work out?
times.
We lost.
Yeah.
All right, you got your next award there, Barney?
My-
'Cause
my
you
next
took this
award-
bad boy along.
My next award. You know what? I'm gonna go. Since we've been talking Melbourne, let's do their favourite sport and one of their favourite clubs, which is the
Oh, yes.
Great Western Sydney Giants.
Mm.
Geez, they love GWS down there in Melbourne, and it's almost as much as we do in the west of Sydney. On the weekend, I don't know if you saw this. We had it's the Humpty Dumpty Award.
Yep.
I'd like to give the Humpty Dumpty Award to key defender Sam Taylor for the GWS Giants, who, after a big match on the weekend, needed surgery because he broke an egg. He that's why it's the Humpty Dumpty Award. He ruptured a testicle.
Oh.
Amazing thing about it is they don't know exactly when it happened in the game. They think sometime in the third quarter.
Did he just keep playing?
He finished the game.
Did he feel pain?
Well,
Adrenaline.
I
Makes
don't know.
men do crazy things.
Yeah,
And when
I don't know. But my favourite part of this story was watching the Ben Hart, the assistant coach for GWS. So their regular coach is out, can't face the media this week because he's got COVID. So Ben Hart stood up, and Ben Hart, clearly not as media trained, just chatting through all the issues. Reporter asks him, do we know how it happened? His first thing is he says he's a tough player, that's for sure. They're still trying to piece it together. for a choice of words. That's what's made me think Humpty Dumpty too, because it made it sound like all the king's horses and all the king's men were in there in the surgery.
Just while you're chatting away here, I'm just going to
That's
look
a
up.
throw off. Isn't that a great throw off as well? He comes out there, everyone's talk to him about the testicle, I'll give these guys a bit of a one-liner.
Yeah.
GWS Giants. Well, I mean, I know.
Can you imagine though? Like he played so it's happened in the third quarter at some stage. They still don't know. They're reviewing the footage. I don't know if it's like 4K cameras are pretty good these days. I don't know if you can notice that in a pair of.
Amazing.
And this is where I think if the shorts were more Warwick Kappa style from the 80s and early 90s, where they were much tighter, the Aussie rules shorts, maybe we'd have a better idea. And maybe it wouldn't have gone. Maybe the extra support would have been there.
Oh, that's true. Let me. Whoa!
Is your house falling apart?
No, that's just we're listening here, and a bug of some description has just flown into the roof, and a part of it's fallen on me. That's what
is
happens at the frat house.
Love it.
No, this is. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. I saw you initially. You sort of glazed up.
Oh, it's quite a large bug, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Is it? It's not a cicada, is it? Wrong time.
No, I think that's Barry.
Oh, it's a pet.
It's a pet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have different pets. Come on, guys.
We do. Let
Yeah.
me read to you what happens when you rupture a testicle. I've just
Oh.
looked it up while you've been chatting there, just so people that aren't au fait with the injury. A ruptured testicle is a health emergency.
Yeah.
That happens when the membrane holding the testicle breaks.
Oh.
Testicular rupture can occur with blunt force to your scrotum or penetrating injury.
Penetrating.
Yeah.
Like, as in you've been penetrating or you've been penetrating.
I guess it's if you're trying to jam your nut into something.
Yeah,
So,
okay,
so
yeah.
this is what they're looking for on the game footage. You think?
Yeah.
Whether he
Third quarter.
Yeah.
What's he doing with them?
often requires surgical repair, and sometimes your testicle must be removed.
Oh,
You don't want to bust a nut.
lucky.
No. No. And we wish, who is it that we're wishing?
Sam Taylor.
Sam Taylor.
Well,
Yeah,
there's-
slamming salmon.
He won't be slamming for a while.
No,
Well,
well, he's out indefinitely.
Okay.
He's on the
Yeah.
injury list indefinitely with a ruptured testicle, which surgery.
Yeah.
Also,
Is it, do you
as
know,
a surgeon, how you study for years. We've got an emergency coming in. Scalpel, yeah, better get the small one.
well, is it microsurgery?
I
Have
don't
you
know.
heard? Because
Is
it's
it-
obviously different.
Do you reckon they use? There's a little seam on the back that every man has. Do you reckon they just use that as the?
They would.
They
They'd
just
go in-
unpick the seam.
100%. They'd go in through
Have you
there.
guys ever lost a ball?
A testicle?
Yeah, like you think you've lost it. So sometimes, like when you do, like,
Do you mean up
You-
inside you?
You do a lot of
Yeah.
surfing early in the morning,
yeah,
winter.
and in the middle of the afternoon. But just some. I was wearing once I didn't have a wetsuit, so I found at a local op shop like a really small wetsuit, and it was so tight. I later found out it was size 14 women, so it was a women's wetsuit.
Was
So
it
there
just
wasn't-
around the hips
Oh, actually, it was
and around the?
roomy.
Around the cod piece.
It was quite. It was actually very tight on the pelvic region, and it would just, oh my goodness! Like I remember the first day after I took the wetsuit off, I was like, holy.
One.
I think I've now only got one ball. I'm not going to be able to have children. Flash forward 15 years, I haven't had a girlfriend for about 10 years, so it's like it's not going to matter anyway.
That
Just kidding.
season 2. That'll bring them back.
Yeah,
That'll bring them back. So yeah,
There's our there's
Yeah,
our
but
social plug. That's our.
Tom Dearden also
Mm.
he ruptured a testicle last year, 2022, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Cowboys against the Warriors. Peter Wallace, I think, did it.
Yeah,
at
Peter
Origin
Wallace.
game, and then got interviewed. He's like,
snapped it in half.
oh, what a guy he is.
Is it, there's these injuries that there's a sudden run of them. Remember when all of a sudden,
Hamstrings this year?
yeah, hamstrings, and then remember
Yeah.
syndesmosis. Everybody was doing syndesmosis,
high syndesmosis.
and then the calves. Remember there was the calf muscle run with
Yeah.
Sam Kerr, Nathan Lyon. Is it
Steve O'Keefe.
Steve O'Keefe? It's every
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Oh, is this a?
A
You
new
think?
thing.
Is it the new
You
thing?
think is condition your cruets because they're going everywhere.
Oh, never
Is
know.
it time that these contact sports started wearing boxes?
You know what I've been saying for years? They got to get rid of the kickoff.
Get rid of the kick. Yeah,
Just-
because
Too much contact to the scrot at the kickoff.
yeah.
I've said that for years. Remove it. They did it in the NFL. They shortened up the kickoff. Less scrot injuries.
Can I just, while we're on the topic of injuries and weird injuries, did you hear about Albert Hopewadi
No,
this year?
what's he
No,
doing?
he was out. So he was playing, I think, on the Sting for Canberra Raiders. Played a fair few games. It was probably one of their first choice wingers. He was at a teammate's house and he was cooking, and he burned himself really bad, and he was out for a couple of weeks. And then his old man John Hopewadi was asked for comment.
Which is always a good idea, just quietly.
He was like, well, if his cooking's anything like his mother's, he doesn't know how to cook.
That's actually not bad from him.
I mean, him. Where did that glass houses come from?
Chaucer.
Chaucer. He's been reading his Chaucer.
Yeah, mate, he knows his Chaucer. Weird injuries. There's a few going around because Liam Martin's got turf toe.
Yeah.
Which
And
you've
have
trained
you-
greyhounds. What is turf toe?
Turf toe is an inflammation of the big toe joint, which either there's two ways it can happen: is either kicking the turf or B, Drinking too many BBs.
Yeah, he's like,
Getting gout. He's got gout.
so, I mean, if I can, I know you might have another award.
No,
While
you
we're
go.
talking
Go,
on
Greg.
injuries, I do
Oh
think-
yeah,
because you
I'm
know
all
what?
injury at the moment.
This has all been segued very nicely, guys. Injured while celebrating. Now, I haven't been fancy enough or thought I was actually trying to find some French words, but I got sidetracked. A French swimmer who qualified for the Olympics. So he was racing in the 100-meter freestyle.
Yep.
Le freestyle, I think it
Yeah.
might be over there in France.
We start. Yeah.
He came second, and he was that pumped. I think he had swum a PB. He was that pumped. He bounces over the rope or whatever the thing.
The lane
that
rope,
creates the lane rope.
Yep.
Smashes the water, and in doing so, throws his shoulder out, dislocates his shoulder, and he then needed help to get out of the pool. And when he's accepting his medal, I think you get medals in these things. He is wearing a sling. So Raphael Fente Damers.
Yeah. With the accent, please.
Raphael. No, that's not.
Is that Borat?
That's Borat. Sorry, Kazakhstan. These
Yeah,
news
yeah.
reporters. Raphael Fente Damers. So yeah, 17 years old as well, and he will learn.
This
Don't
is
celebrate.
this is the first
Steve
time
Ward
I
never
think
did.
the guy the lifeguard who's sitting at all these, like at the swimming championships, going, "What am I here for?"
Yeah.
Finally, he's gone. This is my time. Here we go. I'm in.
How often do you think those lifeguards at these aquatic championships ever get used?
How do you get if you dislocate your shoulder? How do you not drown? Like how are they?
Well,
how
'cause
you
he's
can't?
holding on to the rope.
Oh, with the other arm.
Yeah, he's got one good arm.
Man, because if you think about it, if the ropes weren't there, you dislocate a shoulder in the surf, you're gone. Are you
You're
gone,
gone.
Ski?
You're Gonski. You
Yeah,
get
because you're
Gonski.
trying to put the other hand
Yeah.
to say
it's
I need
the,
help.
Oh,
that scroll
man.
that's been sucked up inside. That's the least of your worries. You're drowning.
And you're wearing a lady's wetsuit. Can't get your arm up.
Can't get a girlfriend.
While we're talking French, though, did you see today Kylian Mbappe has
Yeah.
suffered a broken nose in the Euros,
Oh.
which I feel bad for because if there's one language that'd be hard to speak with a
Oh,
broken
it is very
nose, the
hard.
French. Like, how do you? Like, that's it. You're basically mute. You break your nose as a Frenchman.
Yeah,
Mm,
true.
true. What do we think? How do we think these?
Nothing off the back of that. I was thinking, come on, Jimbo, you got something here. Frenchman broke his nose. Frenchman. No.
Yeah, it's like, it just becomes hucking.
It does. They do this a lot over there. They go, tuh,
Yeah.
tuh.
We'll be doing that even more.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. Sorry.
How do we think the Olympics is going to go? So, I mean, if you are thinking, is Raphael going to make the Olympics?
Is he gonna make the
Raphael is
Olympics?
still hopeful.
He's got 40 days.
He's got
Ah.
40 days, 30.
What is
It's 40 on
30.
Monday.
Well, so
What'll be
minus
Friday?
yeah, I think 35.
What is the shoulder rehab? Because I hurt my shoulder just before Christmas.
What were you
and,
doing?
Playing cricket.
Celebrating?
No,
Did you
just
celebrate?
playing
Olympics?
old man cricket, and it still hurts. I
Did
still
you
can't sleep.
dislocate it?
No, wasn't even that. I just stretched my AC joint, and still, mate. And now, given
you
he's
make the
not 40.
Mate, well, if I'm looking up stuff, I can look up rehab on a dislocated shoulder for a swimmer.
Yeah, is there a French swimming version of the NRL physio? This is what we need.
Chat amongst yourselves.
Les swimming physio.
I've got nothing for that either. But
Um,
sorry, have you been watching the Australian Swimming Championships, Barney?
Did watch a little bit of the Australian Swimming Championship.
Thoughts?
Uh,
6 weeks. You look at 24,
So he's not going to be.
42. Ooh.
He's not going to be in tip top shape.
Sorry,
That would be
28.
so
Home Olympics too. Home Olympics. Things you would only dream about celebrating.
But the swimming's only at the start.
No, it's at the end, isn't it?
Have they switched it this year?
swimming start.
Swimming's at first. But
Oh,
did he-
yeah,
then
it's
athletics
in
at the end.
France, so it's opposite.
Oh, because it's the Northern
No,
Hemisphere.
Northern Hemisphere.
Does he,
Yeah.
But does he do anything in athletics? Because that's the second week.
Well, he can't shot put. I'll give you that.
Snail eating contest. I think he.
Oh, I'm not cool with
Oh,
that, man.
mate.
That's
Mate. I mean, you know what I'm
honestly,
looking
like,
for?
it's not that sort of podcast.
I want to bring back. I want to bring back the last time Paris games. Remember they had actual live pigeon shooting.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
When was Paris?
1900.
1900.
1900.
was that?
Yeah, it was the
That's a good
second
one.
after Athens.
Yeah.
And they had live pigeon shooting. Australia, I believe an Australian
Yeah.
medal in that.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, we've always been known for our pigeon shooting.
Yeah.
We've got a great weightlifter medal hope this year.
Really?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
part of Eastern Europe has he immigrated from?
No, she. Eileen
Oh, so many-
from Fiji.
Oh,
Yeah, she won. I think she won a Com Game gold, but she traded nations from Fiji to Australia.
come on.
So yeah,
Ooh,
I
yeah,
mean,
nice.
if we are a betting,
If we
ever get
Yep.
we are. I'd be looking at her,
Unload.
and I'd be putting my house on it.
Ooh, this one.
Ooh.
This one,
It's a couple of shits.
Well, I mean, geez, the land though, the land.
Oh,
yeah.
land, lots of land.
Anyway,
Did you have one off the back of his injury, or
He did.
am I up?
that
Did
was
you
a
have an
Kylian
award?
Mbappe.
No,
Mbappe?
I was just throwing
Oh,
that
you
out
just
as trivia.
threw
That
that
wasn't
out.
even,
No, it's just
wasn't even an
brilliant.
award.
You know what I can do? I can keep it in Europe.
Yeah,
And
let's
that-
do it.
There's a segue there. Mine is the Soon to Sleep with the Fishes Award.
Oh,
This goes to Riccardo Calafiori.
Oh yeah,
I hope I pronounced that correctly. Sadly for Riccardo Calafiori, this morning our time,
Yep.
he lost the Italians, the Azzurri, lost to La Roja, the Spanish soccer team. Big rivalry there, two of the big nationalities when it comes to playing soccer. It was an own goal, 1-0. Basically, Ricardo, he knocked it into the back of the net with his knee. Let me read this to you. Williams, the Spaniard, crossed
Williams,
it.
very Spanish.
Very Spanish
Yeah.
word. It might be Williams. They say
William.
Williams. He crossed it across the front of goal. Morea,
Mm-hmm.
who's an Italian, he tried to head it away, caught the keeper's gloves. Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is an unbelievable keeper, would have been 15-0 if he wasn't there this morning. Oh, he knocked it onto Calafiori's leg, and sadly, Calafiori knocked it into the goal. So I don't know. I can look this up. How long it takes for the mafia to get to France this time of year?
There's some good deals at the moment.
Is
Yeah,
there
from Italy to
Napoli
France.
to
Yeah.
France? And so feel bad for
Euros.
Calafiori.
Barney, you've been getting around the Euros.
More the sandwich, the euro.
Well, you know what else
Love my meat
starts-
from the big spingy. Oh yeah.
Well, the Copa de America
Oh,
starts
yeah.
today as well. You've got I can give you an update on the result there because Argentina was playing Canada. I'm all across the soccer.
Argentina
at the
versus
moment.
Canada.
Yeah,
Oh, they are in the same
Americas.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, geez, last time I talked football on this podcast, did not go well for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, nothing. Someone at a wedding said, "Oh, I listened to your podcast. By the way, you got this wrong."
Oh,
I
Yeah.
said, "Well, mate, I've got a lot of things wrong." No,
Argentina 2, Canada 0.
That's good on
Goal
the
scorers
Canadians.
Alvarez and Martinez. That was the opening game of that.
Was
It's a very-
Page playing?
He was.
He was playing.
Well, he was
Oh, off the bench,
named. Yeah. Let me have a look.
Yeah.
Lineups. We're right into it in our house at the moment. My son is crazy. 7. He's crazy for soccer at the moment. Loves Messi, loves Ronaldo, loves all this. So we're now getting up in the morning and watching these games. Obviously, Scottish mother, so he's going for Scotland, which he's a glutton for punishment.
5-0,
5-1.
1-1.
But the one was an own goal, and then
Yeah.
1-1
Ooh.
against the Swiss.
Did you watch the Australia Scotland cricket game?
No.
Just to give it to him.
Yeah.
They were close.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole spirit of cricket. Oh, do you
think they were trying to
I
throw
don't
that? 6 drop catches.
Yeah. I don't think they were.
Scotland were trying to throw. Their fielding
No,
was.
we dropped 6 catches. When was the last time Australia in a cricket match has ever dropped
I'll,
6
I'll be
catches?
honest, they didn't look sharp, but that I don't think they were talking tension into that run chase. The modern players do not get phased once it goes up around 12 and over. They're just like, cruise. Just
I mean, I thought Scotland's fielding in that last over that was poor. I'm pretty sure they dropped Tim David before he skied one into the stands and won the game.
what do you make of Tim David?
2 first names.
Yeah.
Always a bit sus.
Also, the
And a
new
chain.
big story now is he's bowling in the nets. Wants to be a bowler as well.
I worked for Steve Smith the other way.
Yeah.
Can I the Scottish team, their best batsman, have you seen what his name is?
Richie Barrington.
He's very good, but no, Brandon McMullen.
Oh,
Yes.
You can't tell me that is not Brendan McCullum with a
Yeah.
fucking moustache. What's your name, mate? Brandon McMullen.
Aye, lad.
I'm not sure if it was in that Australia game, but they got another player, Richie Barrington, who
Who's
was
very good.
towards 60.
Yeah.
But I heard him speak after the game, and it sounded like he might have been South African.
Well,
Yeah. No, I think if you have a side where there's not any, you can't qualify for the World Cup unless you've got at least one player in your squad who was born in South Africa.
yeah. Or if you're England, say 8 to 10 players born in South Africa.
Yeah.
But their cricket team's pretty good as well,
cricket
mate.
team's
They're
red hot.
undefeated.
I've actually, my next award is to do with the Cricket World
There
Cup.
we
Should
go.
I run to that one? And then I think you've got one as well, do you?
I've got one. Yeah, I've got one to knock
Okay.
off.
So mine is the Hooray for USA.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
for USA like that.
They said this World Cup wouldn't work in America. They said New York wouldn't get around it. Well, boy, were they right. Other than the fact that the team has done really well, the chances, and I mean, you work for a betting agency. Gibbo, what was America paying to get from the 20 teams, so the group stage, into the Super 8?
Can I just say this quick legal disclaimer? I have absolutely no evidence of this, but I reckon whatever they were paying, the got some. And holy shit!
Dude, that
What is it with Pakistan?
I do
losing
not
to
endorse
associate?
those.
No, I don't endorse that either. Don't hurt me, but
The US to progress would have been around $5 to $6.
Oh.
No, maybe not actually. Well, so India and Pakistan were in the same group. They were heavily fancied to go through. Was there not rain in that group as well? So I think
yeah,
so. America might have split the points.
Well, India only
with-
played 3.
Yeah, so they got a game rained out. There's a lot
Yep.
of rain in this
Yep.
tournament.
There is. Well, 'tis the season over there.
To rain.
Yeah, I believe so.
What,
Especially in the Caribbean.
Yeah. The
Is that
Caribbean
right?
looks fun though. I was watching
Yeah.
West Indies were playing England yesterday, and the crowd just looked bananas.
how though when they go to the real wide, like the drone shot, how dark is it outside all the grounds? Like you're like, oh, these are small islands they're playing on. Like it's just
Did you hear about the New York ground, which was the
Yes.
Nassau County?
Yep.
Do you know about how the outfield rejected the drop-in pitch?
Really?
So, like when you get a hair transplant
oh wow.
and the rest of your hair says nah and it fails, that's what happened. So that's why that pitch was so bad. Why
They had to-
for like 100.
yeah.
They got to go to Turkey to get these pitches.
And so it just turned into absolute rubble because the outfield went, nah, that's not our type of pitch.
yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, they
Yeah, well, that's Trump country up there. They don't like,
Outside of-
drop-ins. No drop-ins.
I think it was a Mexican pitch.
Well, because it is a big push for cricket in America because, we hear this sleeping giant in all sports. And, they thought the Cricket World Cup in America, we're going to get a lot of expats because there's a lot of Southeast Asian expats
Yep.
over there. And I think the crowds have been, were you saying, Paul?
The India-Pakistan clash in
Of
New York
course.
was massive. The ticket sales were, the average ticket price, because they all on-sold them, was $1,300. So it's
Wow.
$15 million from one game. Outside of that, the crowds were really poor.
Yeah, I think one of these, like with these sort of stuff, these things, you got to be aware. Like there is a big expat community, but are you actually bringing anyone extra in, or are
Yeah.
you just playing to the
Well-
expats that live there that already loved cricket? Like I don't know how many people are getting converted to cricket.
Well, lucky for them, someone like Aaron Jones. So born in New York,
Mhm.
obviously raised in Barbados, I think he's somewhere in the Caribbean. He is an absolute star in this T20 tournament like that. Was it 94 off 46 or something? And then also he won that super. So the giant buggers come
I,
back.
I don't know. Is it a fly or is it a bee? So I think it's just a fly.
Might be a wasp.
We'll see. A fly thinks that's just the sky up
Yeah,
there.
it's
That's actually
freaking
a
out.
skylight.
Can I just say this is great pod?
It is. Anyway, to sum up, hooray for the
Hey,
USA.
don't you come into this pod and start.
You're gone, mate.
Yeah, you're.
This is the trophy. You can start season 3 next week.
Yeah, that's
Very
right.
easy.
Yes.
Did you have
Yeah.
something?
I have got my final award is the choke of the week,
Ooh,
and I don't like doing this because I saw the more you research into it, the less. No, hey, that's these mics are very good. I'm picking that up.
You're not saying that one, but you said the.
Rory McIlroy at the US Open last week, losing by a shot to Bryson DeChambeau. 2-shot final round lead. Blah 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 blah. He bogeyed 3 of the last 4 holes. He had a gimme putt to win the
You got to call it
US
the Greg
Open.
Norman Award.
Greg. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I also looked up how to say choke in different languages. And there was the Italian one's really good.
Sure,
but
okay.
No, it was completely different word.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of for some reason, choke doesn't translate to choke. The similar word. I don't know. Anyway, so Rory McIlroy, but this is why I didn't want to do it, is because he's now since taken a break from golf. He also didn't get interviewed after it. So there was footage of him watching Bryson his last few holes, and he didn't look very happy. He then just stormed off, so he didn't do any sort of media afterwards, and I just can't believe it.
Can I? Do we think? I'm sympathetic for him. Part of me, but the other part of me is he's a very highly paid,
Yes.
like golfing millionaire, and this is part of it that sometimes you lose, and you got to stick around, and
Yep.
you got to do the media. Like you look at the way, like, and a man he clearly doesn't get along with, Greg Norman, who is behind the whole live
Live
golf push. Like very contrasting characters, but at least when Greg Norman shit the bed,
Yeah.
Greg Norman didn't throw the toys out of the cot. Like and now I'm sympathetic. Like we mental health super important. Mental health super important. But there is part of this where you know what, mate.
Yeah.
That's
Second
it's the
prize
gig.
is still it's the
That's the
gig.
gig.
Second
When you
prize
tee
is a
off-
lot of money.
You know that on that last day you could choke.
Yeah.
And what happens then is you need to front up to the media. Like you don't get to just do it when you win.
Yes.
You got to also do it when you have a massive poo in the bed. Is that what you're saying?
He won 4 majors, I think, before the age of 24 or 25. So it was 10 years ago, and he's been trying and trying to win this elusive 5th major. And I think it's just.
But this is a new thing where we're feeling sorry for him because he had success so early and he's having trouble winning his 5th major. Like,
How much do you think second place wins?
like
It's like $1
at what
billion.
point does victimhood not apply?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Can,
mean? Like,
can we all go around and do our Rory McIlroy impersonation? Can you do yours?
a very special set of skills.
2.3
Are you sure?
million.
Rory. That's not bad. I used to chip balls into the.
Yeah, which
Mushroom
I
machine.
mean that's not necessarily what it's about, but like it's you got to have there needs to be some resilience built into all
Yeah.
of this, right? Like if you like I know everyone's like the mental health toll because he had success so early and he's having trouble finishing it up, but there's like I don't know when you put that in context of people with real problems.
You hate it. Just tell us.
No, I don't hate him.
You
I'm
hate
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
Is this
it's not
because
the,
of- is
it's
this
not the
your-
biggest challenge in the
Yeah.
world.
If
You know what I mean?
blew off Caroline Wozniacki, is this why?
Is this because you have a problem with Northern Ireland and its
Mate.
ties to the British monarchy?
I'm saying there is one island, as far as I'm concerned. No, I mean, imagine that I go after Pakistan and Northern Ireland in the one podcast.
So yeah, that's the
Barney's not on the next episode.
He's sleeping with the fishes. Well, fishes, probably. Well, Rory McIlroy, the choke of the week.
Yeah,
Do we have any more awards to give out?
No, that was
I've
me
got
all done.
one personal one.
Oh,
yeah,
I get
let's
to
do it.
do it.
Yeah. This one, no, this is like I don't know what to call this. This is probably the greatest / sneakiest charity move ever. So we're all familiar with the idea of the charity mugger or the person
Chugger.
the chugger.
The chugger, yeah.
The person who's there soliciting for charities, usually a good cause, around your local shopping centre or wherever. I was at my local shops the other day, and I'm walking along, and I noticed there's a lady with got the little can. She's got the little like the PayWave machine there. She's soliciting for a cancer charity. I won't name the charity because one, I don't remember it, and two, I don't want to cast aspersions over the charity. Now I noticed she's sitting down. She's got the can in one hand. She's got the thing. She's sitting down between her legs. She's holding her cane. Her
Joel?
no, her vision assistance cane. So she's low vision.
Oh, right.
This lady, right? So I'm thinking, my first thought is, you beauty. Is there going to be any charity mugger easier to sneak around than this lady? So I just started to take a wide berth. Little did I know, because I'm thinking all I got to do is not make a heap of noise. She won't even know I'm there.
Stealth.
Right? Yeah, stealth. There's a bit of background noise. We're in a shopping centre. I'm like, this is easy. Right. Little do I know, she's clearly like clearly, I don't know if she's got radar or she's got just
Supersonic
the ability to see like the blurry shapes or whatever. Because she straight away, it was like we're in Jurassic Park and she's a raptor and I'm moving, right? She clocks onto and she's tracking me, right? And she like quite loudly because she obviously can't work out how far away I am. Would you like to help, assist with people in camp? And I'm thinking, I don't know, because the struggle is my usual move with these people is go to the fake phone call.
Yeah.
I'm on, mate, I'm very busy.
Yeah.
Like mouth sorry. I'm like that sort of stuff as you walk past. She can't see enough to see that I've got the phone to me.
I'm now holding my phone.
Yeah. I can't describe my mind.
I'm now miming.
Have you? And do you know how you feel being someone who's pretending they can't see a blind person who's shouting out to? I just had to go. Now it's costing me $20 a month.
It's pretty much
20 a month. She signed me up.
Make a subscription charity.
Oh.
You'll get me on a good day, I reckon. But just once you start trying to charge me every month, I'm never going to forget about it. Next thing you know, I've given bloody $15 million to a poor kid in Africa.
But is that the greatest move ever? Like to get the lady who can't see to collect on your behalf?
100%.
One, she's not collecting for vision impaired too, so it's not like it's not even a straight down the list. She's like, look, I've got my own problems, but I care about people with cancer. So she's good
I see
person,
what
good,
you're saying.
and you cannot. There's no way to pretend you.
So what's your reward called for her?
I think it's just the
Nice
genius, nice move award.
I've got one off the back of that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's maybe the guilt trip award.
The guilt trip, yeah. See, I've got the gorilla beggar of the week.
Ooh.
Now I was I was at Spice Alley in the city right near UTS. It's like
Someone's doing all right.
well,
You are doing all right.
well, I'm not doing well. I'm living here
He's paying
in Freshwater.
paying tolls to go across the bridge. Look at this guy.
Thank you. But a lady came up, and I've recognised this lady before because when I go into the city, she usually gets on trains and gets down the bottom, and she like addresses everyone on the train and says,
"Oh
hey,
God,
I'm currently in a women's refuge, yada yada yada." She does the whole spiel. Has anyone got some loose change? And so if you go into the city around Redfern, you'll always see this particular lady. I'm there. I'm actually on a date.
oh yeah."
And then so eating some pork, and she comes in.
Is that a euphemism or you?
Pork was later.
Yeah.
I think I had pork belly at the time.
Nice.
And the lady sort of comes up to our table and she's like, "Oh, hello guys," like the whole spiel, which I've heard a million times. And on the date, you're like, "Ooh, like do I play like I'm Joan?" Yeah. So you hand out like a 20. Here you go.
20.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
And
You are doing all right.
I don't know. So I liked her hustle. I appreciated the hustle, but I didn't have any cash on me, and I was like,
She didn't have one of those little things that you can.
no. She said, "Oh, like there's ATM just up the road." It's like,
Oh,
come on.
no,
That's
not going to a
part
second location.
Sure, she said, "Oh no, yeah, I've got Pay ID," and it's like, come on, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not
On
grabbing-
my brand new iPhone.
yeah, on my iPhone 15.
Very good.
Anyway.
Are we going to wrap this up here, boys? I am starving. I would love a beer.
A beer.
Yeah.
We don't know. This is not one of those sorts of podcasts.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Anyway, well, hey Barney, thank you for being the first guest on episode 1 of season 2 of the Trophy Room. How do you feel that went?
Mate, I you know what? I felt like I get a couple of good early touches. Just it was a pot of two halves. I I did my best and just full credit to the software.
Yeah, well, it's
for
holding
recording.
up.
Is it?
I mean, we could play it back and it could be laggy.
Are you gonna make all your guests bring their own recording equipment?
Are you the guest? I thought he was on the show.
Yeah,
I do.
You're here every
Well,
week.
I did too until I was told being the first guest. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, can we just leave the equipment here? We'll come back and do it next week. Anyway, this has been the Trophy Room podcast. Professors, good to be back. I mean, you do a lot of podcasts. This would be...
This is nice. No, this is more high tech than the ones I do. This is a better setup.
Yeah, and we got more runs on the board.
100%. Broadcasters, both of you. You know what you're doing. I mean, the setup only took an hour and a half. Too bad.
Well, yes. I mean, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming to Castle to Gibbons.
Thanks for having us.
Hopefully you haven't left with any diseases that you did
Bring
come
in.
with. Yeah, 'cause sharing's caring in this house. Well, yeah, that's Trophy. That's the Trophy Room. Like, subscribe. See you next week.